So my truck died on me about 2 weeks ago while driving on the highway, and I pulled over and I noticed that the water fuel separator was empty, so I filled it up and then I primed the engine with a little pump there, and the truck would run for 30 seconds, but then it would shut off again. So what I did is, these are the fuel lines that go to the fuel pump. Those are the part numbers, and I ended up clamping them with a vice grip, and then I unscrewed them from the pump, and I tested the pump. I cranked the engine and the pump was not putting out anything, so I unscrewed the pump, and this is the joint that connects the pump to the shaft that drives the fuel pump, and as you can see, it's pretty worn out. So I ended up ordering one because the dealer didn't have it in stock, even though it's a $50, $60 piece. They didn't have it in stock, so I had to wait 2 days to get it. But in the meantime, what I did, I cut the old fuel lines about here, and I put a T in them, and I put these lines that come from the T to this little fuel pump. It's a diesel fuel pump. You can get it at O'Reilly's. I also put a pressure gauge because it's a regular air pressure gauge, but it works because I was curious to see what the fuel pressure would be, and also a shut-off valve, because when the regular truck pump works, you don't want this open, you want it closed, because otherwise, instead of pushing the fuel through the engine, it's going to push it through this line. So I put this up, and this little pump got me to my delivery about 200 miles, and then another 50 miles to the dealer, where 2 days later I got this little part in, and then I put it in, and truck works normal. But I also decided to leave this pump on just in case the pump fails again in the future. And in case people are curious, the fuel pressure on the Volvo pump is at idle around 60 psi. I'm gonna start the truck now so we can see that. This is at idle. If I press the pedal, this is the max, around 90 psi. At 1500 RPM, 1500 RPM. Again at idle. even though this pump, the electric pump, only puts out around 10 psi, it did manage to get me to my delivery, but I could not drive more than 60 miles per hour, even on straight ground. I would highly suggest, I decided to leave this pump in just in case it will break down in the future again. But if someone wants to do a similar setup, I would suggest to use a bigger pump that puts out over around 40 to 80 psi, and my guess is that with a bigger pump the truck will run just fine.